Coming up, a Kentucky senator is leading an effort to block military funding.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A group of Republican senators want to block military funding because of a vaccine mandate. The group of 13 is led by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. WYMT Washington News Bureau reporter Peter Zampa is on Capitol Hill, where the funding fight is unfolding.
13 Republican senators, led by Rand Paul and Lindsey Graham, penned a letter to their leadership Wednesday, stating their opposition to moving toward passage of the National Defense Authorization Act, the massive piece of legislation that funds the military each year. The reason for their opposition? The Biden administration's vaccine mandate for military personnel.
Our young men and women in the military deserve better.
Paul, flanked by his co-authors, argues the mandate has ruined the livelihoods of thousands of American servicemen and women discharged for not getting vaccinated. The letter threatens the group will not vote to proceed with the military funding package unless another vote is taken on their amendment, which calls for getting rid of the mandate and reinstating discharged service members with back pay.
At a time when the military is struggling to meet their targets for recruitment, the Biden administration is firing soldiers we invested in and trained.
In August 2021, the Food and Drug Administration fully approved the COVID vaccine, deeming it safe and effective. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and President Joe Biden then mandated the shot for service members. The senators are threatening to block a package that usually sees widespread bipartisan support. Military leaders are pleading for it to pass as threats continue to mount, particularly from Russia and China.
It's essential that the DoD has the authorities needed to defend the nation, deter our adversaries, and support a lethal, resilient, and healthy joint force.
Many of the senators added they do plan to eventually support the NDAA after a vote on their amendment. They would not say how leadership reacted to their letter after a party lunch on Wednesday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Peter Zampa.
As the fight over vaccine mandates continue, we are still tracking COVID-19 across the country and here in the Commonwealth. The state released its weekly numbers today. They reported more than 3,800 new cases. That number is down significantly from the week before, likely because of the holidays. 43 deaths were reported. The positivity rate is slightly up. It's 7.03%. The number of hospitalizations and patients in the ICU is also up. As you can see on the map, Eastern Kentucky has 3 counties in the red. Those are Magoffin, Johnson, and Floyd. Pike County is in the yellow. There are at least 3 school systems now closed the rest of the week due to various illnesses. Those are Corbin Independent, Jackson County, and Whitley County. The Respect for Marriage Act became a landmark bill passed by the Senate yesterday to protect same-sex and interracial marriages. After yesterday's vote, same-sex and interracial couples are one step closer to protecting their union. Now, while the measure does not prohibit states from banning those marriages, it would force them to recognize such marriages granted by other states. The Family Foundation, a Christian public policy group, believes the Senate has disrespected the institution of marriage.
It's a bad policy decision. It tramples on a fundamental freedom, and ultimately it's going to further create chaos on as it relates to marriage, which is the foundational building block of society.
The measure will go before the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives for a full vote. Neither Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul nor Mitch McConnell voted in favor of the bill.
Well, it is a chilly night underway throughout the region, and we've got another chilly day on the way. Heading into our Thursday, but some rebounding on the way. Here's a look at Triangle Park in downtown Hazard. Not much activity, but the Christmas lights do look nice there downtown. At this hour, it feels like Christmas. A chilly 32 degrees out there right now. It's where many of us are, right at freezing, if not a little below. Some of us a little above. 34 Prestonsburg, Jonesville, 35 Middlesboro, and 36 the big winners right now in Harlan. At this point, clear skies continue to dominate not just Eastern Kentucky, not just the Commonwealth of Kentucky, but much of the eastern third of the nation as well. Now, those will continue into tonight with light west winds down into the mid-20s, a chilly low to start our Thursday off. But we do have improvements on the way. Details on those in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. The Housing Development Alliance in Hazard is continuing its mission of helping those impacted by flooding. The organization is building 7 homes in 3 eastern Kentucky counties hit hard by the flood. Scott McReynolds says more work is to be done, but wants to thank those who donated their resources to keep their mission alive.
We've made a lot of progress. There's still a lot more to do, but we wouldn't be even where we are now without the generosity of the community and really the state and beyond.
The houses crews are building now will take about 3 to 4 months to finish. Morehead State University is helping graduates impacted by this summer's flooding. The university says students will be able to get a free replacement of their diplomas. This will be offered to graduates from the 13 hardest hit counties. You must request a replacement by March of next year. You can apply on Morehead State's website. After seeing local tourism efforts in surrounding communities, a group of 20-somethings wanted to try putting their community on the map as well. That's why Derek Baker and his friends, Andrew and Cameron, founded the Hayden-Leslie Tourism Group. The trio hopes to bring more people to Leslie County and create a more enjoyable place for the people who live there as well.
We actually just started about 2 weeks ago. We had an idea, we drew it out for about a month, and then we met with the mayor and got the ball rolling. It's just an amazing feeling to be able to, take this community to another level, where it wasn't before.
Those with Hayden-Leslie Tourism say they have big plans for the future of Leslie County. To see how you can keep up with the tourism group, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. Today marks 5 months since an ambush left 2 officers, a deputy, and a K-9 dead in Floyd County. Deputies were trying to serve a domestic violence order against Lance Storts. They say he opened fire and barricaded himself inside his home. By the time the standoff ended, 3 people and a K-9 died. Others were seriously hurt, including Deputy Darren Lawson. Lawson was hospitalized for weeks. He recently had to have his leg amputated. In the coming months, he is expected to learn to walk again with a prosthetic. 39-year-old Marlon Jermaine Johnson was sentenced in federal court to 25 years in prison yesterday. Officials say he was sentenced for possession with intent to distribute 500 grams of meth, possession of a gun while trafficking, and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. Evidence used at trial revealed on November 18, 2018, Johnson led police on a high-speed chase through a Corbin neighborhood where he ultimately crashed. Police reportedly found more than 1 kilogram of meth in the car and a loaded gun. Firefighters are still working to determine what caused a deadly fire in Pulaski County. It happened Thanksgiving morning at a home on Antioch Avenue in Burnside. 76-year-old Jewel Lester died. Her daughter and grandson tried to save her but could not. Her dog stayed by her side and also died. The home was destroyed. A final farewell from the state capitol today for former Governor John Y. Brown, Jr. Family, friends, and politicians shared stories during a private service from inside the Capitol Rotunda. The service was broadcast across the state on KET. His children say he encouraged them to make a difference, while friends say Brown was great at giving people chances to succeed.
He was wonderful, and he didn't get in the way of the people that he hired. He let them do their jobs.
While he was lying in state, Brown's casket was draped in a Kentucky flag. It was later switched to an American flag because of his military service. Brown was buried at the Lexington Cemetery. Christine McVie, the British-born Fleetwood Mac singer, songwriter, and keyboard player, has died. Her family says she died peacefully this morning after a short illness. Fleetwood Mac was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998. She joined the group in 1971 and was with them until 1998, but came back again in 2014. She sang lead and wrote or co-wrote many of the band's big hits like Little Lies, Everywhere, Don't Stop, You Make Loving Fun, and Songbird. McVie's ex-husband was Fleetwood Mac bass guitarist John McVie. In a statement, band members today said, quote, "She was the best musician anyone could have in their band and the best friend anyone could have in their life." Stevie Nicks called Christine, quote, my best friend in the whole world since the first day of 1975. Christine McVie was 79 years old. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, students in Pike County are hoping to send a little holiday cheer to our nation's heroes this Christmas.
Plus, warming up later on this weekend as some showers may move back in. The full breakdown ahead.
Here at Hazard ARH, we have a robust bariatric program. These procedures can be life